What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Black Appeal Tech here, back with a first impressions. I just got the iPhone 17 Pro. Now, this is my first Pro lineup out of all the iPhones that I've ever owned, and I've had everything from the iPhone 3GS up to the 15. I didn't get the 16, and I did get a Pro lineup. I do kind of regret not buying a Pro lineup iPhone, but at the time I didn't really think I needed one. And once I started learning about what the iPhone 17 would have in terms of just what ProRes was and what OpenGate was, that kind of opened me up to kind of learning a little bit more than what my normal camera or what a normal iPhone can do in terms of just simply using it as a phone, and if I ever want to make videos with it, just kind of doing beyond that. And so that's when I tried to learn as much as I can in terms of what ProRes was, ProRes RAW, and then what OpenGate was. So this is, I got in a deep blue. This is the 512 gigabyte version. I really wanted to get the 256 gig version in the blue, but they didn't have any. And the only other version they had was in a silver and a 1 terabyte, which I didn't really need a 1 terabyte, plus it was more. And I did not want to get an orange one, nor did I want to wait to get an orange one because everyone's got the orange. Because I kind of figured once the orange was announced and everyone's getting it and pre-ordering it, you're just gonna see a lot of people walking around with orange ones. But I do like the blue. I did get a case. I actually got two cases for these. The original one I got is the Tech Woven case, which is a nice case. It does provide some really cool protection. The feel is kind of different. It's different than my other case that I had for this, which is from Spigen, and it is a MagSafe case. But my goal is to kind of rig this out and to turn it into kind of like a cinema camera, like my FX30 when I rig it out, or even for my Insta360 Ace Pro 2, but not so much to where I'll be replacing my FX30 with this or my Insta360 with this, because this is just never going to replace my FX30 when it comes to the quality between this versus that. In my opinion, the FX30 just destroys this in terms of the straight raw video power. Now, the case that I got, the new one that I got to do this, is this is from Small Rig. It's just basically a nice little MagSafe case that does protect. The one thing I love about it, it does protect the camera piece here. So it comes with these nice little quick plates. And it took me a bit to kind of figure out actually how to actually put these on, because when you read the instructions, it seems like it just tells you just to put it on and just push on it. But actually, in a way, you simply have to just kind of slide it on to it. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the case. It speaks for itself, but it is a really cool camera case, and it does allow you to turn this into a pretty cool cinema camera. You just simply get this with another cage, which I'll be getting that in the mail a couple of days from now, so I'll be making a video on that and just showing how that works. But when I first read the instructions on this, it was kind of weird, and I'd recommend reading the instructions first before doing it, because you don't want to scratch your lenses, because in some cases it looks like you will scratch it, but you really don't. You simply just lay it down, and then you just simply just push in, and then that's all you have to do. And as you can see, the camera lenses are pretty much kind of sunk in through this. So it's like, I guess you could say it's like recessed in through this. So even if you dropped it with the lens facing down, you're not going to damage it. And you obviously can get body lenses for the cameras, but for me, I can use this as a normal kickstand or normal case, as well as turning it into a cinema rig. And what I love about this case is that it gives me the little kickstand, so I can lay it down this way, or I can stand it up. Now, it took me a bit to get used to the action button on this, because I couldn't for the life of me figure out why I couldn't disable it, because I was thinking that the action button, the camera button on the side, was what you could disable. I thought that was the action button, and I thought this was the camera button right here, because I would always press on this, and anyone who's obviously, if you have a Pro model, you obviously double tap that and you open into the camera, and depending on whether you have it in video or photo mode, that's what you use it for, shooting for photography or for videos. And for some reason, every time I tried to disable it, I thought I was disabling this, but all the while I was actually disabling this, because I didn't really look at the highlight, which it does give you the highlight in terms of what this action button does. And that took me a bit to figure that out. Now, other than that, it's no more different than my iPhone 15 in terms of just overall usage. Now, obviously, I got more storage with this one, because the storage starts out at 256, versus when I got the 15, it started out at 128. But I do have the ability to shoot in ProRes with this just straight internally through the camera itself, which I'm assuming you've probably watched a ton of YouTube videos on people talking about ProRes and ProRes high quality and ProRes raw. Now I'm still learning a lot of this on my own when it comes to this, but that is the reason why I bought the Pro, was because I really wanted to learn what ProRes was, what ProRes high quality was, and you can shoot ProRes on this, and I'm going to show you what that incurs and why it's not a good idea to shoot it in ProRes on your phone unless you have like a lot of storage on. I have a 512, so this is a video I did. It's kind of like an unboxing video. Now let's see if the camera focus. Now this 10-minute video is 46 gigs. Yeah, 46.17 gigs of storage on this phone. This is a 512. So in terms of if you're using the cloud for all your cloud storage and you're shooting this internally on a phone in ProRes, you can chew up pretty much almost all of your free 5 gigabytes of storage on iCloud. So you either have to jump into the next highest tier, or what you would do is you would go online and you can buy these MagSafe SSD, as you can say, portable drives that you can plug directly in to the bottom of the iPhone, and you can use those. But the problem with that is if you're new to that, then it can be very pricey. I'm actually got something I ordered from ProGrade that'll be coming in the next couple of days, and I'll just talk to you about that and show you a little bit about that. But overall impressions, it's a great phone. I love this phone. Now there is one feature on here that I do love that I think a lot of content creators will enjoy also. Is a mode called dual capture mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch from my FX30 onto my iPhone 17 Pro, and I will show you what dual mode is and why, as a content creator, this is something that you should definitely be looking into for making content. Now we're shooting on my iPhone 17. This is known as dual camera mode or dual capture mode. Now what I love about this feature is it utilizes both your front and your rear camera. So in terms of social media platforms and how it works, is the only app that you can actually do this, which has already had this in a software update. I think it's had it for a couple of years, is Snapchat. It's the only one that actually has that ability to do that. So whether you have the iPhone 15, 12, or whatever iPhone, you could do that through Snapchat, as it was already integrated into the software. Now, if you want to do a video recording like this with an iPhone, unfortunately, this only works with the whole iPhone 17 lineup. So whether you have the 17, 17 Pro, Pro Max, or the Air, it works on all of those. If you have any other iPhone, even if you have the 16 Pro Max or the 16 Pro, the 15 Pro, Pro Max, it will not work on that. This is software that's exclusively for the iPhone 17 lineup. And what I love about this is it gives you a different aspect in terms of how you can shoot your video. So for instance, say you want to do some reaction videos and you have it sitting on a tripod and you're looking at something with the rear camera and the front facing camera is capturing all your reactions. That is something that is pretty cool. So you're doing some sort of travel vlogging. Not only can you show them what you're seeing in the rear camera, but also with the front facing camera, anything that you might have missed in sort of your vlogs. And when it comes to IRL streams, you can also have, you're doing a video vlog and you have your friends in it and they're walking with you. Again, with the front facing camera, you all are in the front facing camera as well as the rear. When it comes to concerts, you can use this for concerts as well as actually, it's like a ton of different things that you can do with this mode. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to using it for social media platforms, there's no updates yet on being a bit, there's no updates yet that have rolled out with the ability to do this. Only Snapchat is the only way you can use it with. So if you want to do like any kind of cool, quick Snapchat videos or reaction videos, you can do that with Snapchat. Any of the other action or any of the other social media platforms like Twitch or YouTube Live, YouTube, Facebook Live, or anything like TikTok, you can't really utilize that yet. I'm assuming that eventually there will be software updates for you to do that, but I think this is a very useful feature. So say you want to show off your desk and you want to kind of show stuff in the background as well. So I have my iPhone on my Ulanzi. I can simply just show you what's on my desk, as well as at the same time show you what's also in the background. So those little black things you see there, those are what is known as Elgato wave panels, and I have them all over my room. So I have two there, I have some there, I have some there, and as you can see, I got some in the back. These are what are known as sound deadening panels. So they basically limit the amount of echo you get in your room. That way you're not getting a lot of reverberation in your audio, and then you trying to figure out how to kind of get rid of it, especially if you've never edited videos before. So this, in its sense, can give a lot of different perspectives in terms of just video in general, what you can do with this. And I find this a very cool feature, and I look forward to seeing a lot more social media platforms hopefully incorporating this into their video or into their software. Now, when it comes to like Zoom meetings and things of that nature, I do hope that Microsoft updates their app so that if you're in a Zoom meeting, you're not just looking, they can see you. You don't have to use your web camera or anything like that. You can just simply just open up the app and there you go. You simply have the front facing as well as the rear. And I think that would be very useful for a lot of productivity apps. So I look forward to in the future seeing a lot of apps utilizing this format when it comes to doing social media platforms. Now, again, you can also shoot what is known as ProRes internally on this camera. But keep in mind, ProRes allows you to basically just shoot the video just straight raw, and then you can edit it with your own touches when it comes to sticking it into your favorite video software editor. But keep in mind, it does take up a lot of storage. As I was showing you previously, a 10-minute video was like 45 gigs of storage. That is a lot of storage. So if you are using an iPhone and you're using cloud storage, because this is going to store it in the cloud, if you're using the free cloud storage, you might want to update to a higher cloud storage because it is going to chew up a lot of that 5 terabytes of storage. Now, if you want to use if you want to use like an external hard drive, like say the Atomos Ninja or like say the Lexar, any one of these ones that are designed for your iPhone, and you want to shoot in ProRes, you would need to use the Blackmagic app, and then that allows you to shoot in the same ProRes, but the video gets stored onto the SSD on the SSD holder, and then you can simply just unclip that from your phone, plug it into your computer, and then you can simply just offload it that way. Otherwise, trying to do it internally from the phone itself, you will chew up a lot of storage. So other than that, it's a great phone. Like I said, this is my first Pro phone, so I'm really fascinated with shooting in ProRes, but not just on the phone itself, but ProRes HQ, ProRes RAW, and like I said, I do have a external SSD that I got coming for the iPhone, as well as I got a cage rig out that I'm going to rig this out with and just try and experiment with that. But I also want to learn about OpenGate. So obviously, OpenGate, in a nutshell, let's see if I can get this right because I probably might not, just allows you to basically shoot your video in any format you want, in any aspect ratio you want, crop it in any aspect ratio that you want, and still retain the video. It's not the same thing as actually cropping a video where you're literally just cropping out a specific part of the video and you lose everything else around it. OpenGate allows you to keep all that information there while still changing it in, say, a 4:3 or 1:1, or if you're shooting a 16:9, but you want this video in a 4:3, OpenGate allows you to do that, but you can only really do this through 2 apps, which is the Final Cut Pro app and the Blackmagic app. And again, this is where you need external hard drives for that. Otherwise, for like the Sony cameras, they can't do it, but you can do it with like say Panasonic cameras, Fuji cameras, and all that. But that's kind of getting beyond what most people are actually going to use the phone for in terms of just shooting videos and all that. Now, I didn't get the Pro Max because I didn't want a 6.7-inch screen. I think a 6.3-inch screen is perfectly large enough for me to use, as my 15 was a 6.1-inch screen. So I do love the Pro. I do plan on using it a lot more when it comes to shooting videos, and it's also have my action cameras and all that, but I always have my phone on me, so I will be doing a lot more videos with this. Now, the audio, again, what you're hearing from is from a brand known as Hollyland. This is the Hollyland Lark M2S's, and this is one of the mics that comes with it, and you get a nice little receiver, and all I'm using is just the transceiver that plugs into the bottom of the iPhone, and that's where all the audio is coming from this. You can also use the Hollyland, the A1 lineup, which also does the same thing, where it's just the microphone and just the receiver. You don't need one for the camera if you don't plan on using it. And so the audio that I'm hearing is just from that. So other than that, though, there's a lot of things that you can do with this phone that you can really turn this into an amazing content creating phone without the need to have to spend a buttload of money. And like I said, I will be getting a bunch of other stuff for this phone, where I will be rigging this out and just kind of testing it up against my Ace Pro 2, as well as my FX30 maybe. And I will be testing against my DJI Nano, which is a new action camera that I just got and will be getting in the mail later on today. And I will be doing unboxing of that. So that's all that I got for you guys. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if you're new to my channel, my name is Black Appeal, the Tech Guy. Please give me a thumbs up if this video was helpful. And if you're new, please think about hitting that subscribe button and hitting that bell notification. That way you don't miss content when I drop it. Again, this is just my first impression of the iPhone 17 Pro, as this is my first Pro model of an iPhone. So that's all that I got. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to enjoy my vacation. Have a good week.